Chalmers, that's it. And he's busy too. So
Who?
Chalmers, Corey Chalmers, he's got the sideburns and the gray goatee.
Yeah, I just wanted the listeners to hear what you said.
Yeah. The other guy that cleans up shit.
So animal, I got some questions.
All right.
I think my Uncle Bob was a hoarder. My grandparents in Montclair, New Jersey were very wealthy, and they had a basement that was like, there was a shuffleboard court on like the tile floor.
Yeah.
Pool table.
Green and maroon tile. With the white speckle.
Awesome. Like you went there to, like, it was an acre of land and they had a pool, which it just, there was grapes and my Uncle Kent had that monkey in the cage, Phyllis. My Uncle Kent had a monkey outside. Like it was.
He had a monkey and grapes?
They had like a grape. Yes. It's very
Did the monkey crush grapes and like make wine?
I wish. It was very South American dictator vibe.
This is in Jersey?
This is in Upper Montclair, New Jersey. We stumbled upon my uncle having a monkey in a bird cage, and people tweeted like, "I lost my shit." I didn't realize it was that funny, that sentence, but I guess it is. But there was like pathways, and it was kind of like Grey Gardens if Grey Gardens wasn't run down.
Yeah,
is how it was supposed to be. And
but it wasn't run down.
No, but whenever we wanted to play pool, we always had to take stuff off the pool table. But it would be literally 48 hours since we were in the basement last. And it was always, I could tell you.
Fill back up.
Huh?
You'd fill back up.
Filled all the way like 3 feet high in the pool table. Yeah. And you know what it was? It was those giant books of wallpaper samples.
Yeah.
Where it's just a color per page. Yeah. So there's no reason.
It's basically just binder, like a big-ass binder with like felt coming out. Yeah, this thing. Yes. And they got a rope handle. Yeah.
Or if there's not even felt, it would just be an actual page with the color on it. So there's no reason that you should have more than me. I mean,
Was he an interior decorator or anything?
No, he did work a little bit there. Like my grandfather was a perfumer. He was president of Revlon in the 50s, formed his own company.
Really?
So some of the sons tried to follow. My Uncle Kent, I know, was in his footsteps. And my Uncle Bob did, I don't know what he did, but he always brought home these books. And they would be out upstairs.
Well, they were going to be useful someday. That's probably why he got them. He probably got them free from some sample somewhere.
But they'd be out on like coffee table books. And I remember sitting as a kid, like during commercials, because that was the greatest place to sleep over. It was a 4-story house, and they rented the entire 4th floor to Montclair State University students. So like it was that big of a house that at any time there was 6 tenants in your house.
It's like a half a block.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And, like 4 different stairwells and 8 fireplace. It was great and awesome. And it was wealthy looking and feeling, the old creaky wood floors. But when you went to play pool, you're like, oh, these fucking books. And they were heavy as balls. And we were like 8 years old. Yeah. Like we couldn't even reach the table. But now we got to climb up on shit.
One of those old like leather tarps that went over, like fitted tarps that went over the pool table. And you'd pull the...
Yeah, and then the tarp eventually just went away. Yeah. And then the books just piled up. But it was always amazing. So I guess he was a hoarder.
Yeah, like at stage 2 or 3.
But why though? Like you would hoard other
There's
things.
Always, it makes sense. Like there was some awesome reason. Like he was like, I am the shit because I have like, this is it. Like this is going to make my life better. Somebody's going to want these samples. And when they do, I got them all.
But like, 2 of those books pretty much covers every color in the spectrum. There's the 64 color Crayola box. You're good. If you go past 64 colors in the Crayola box, you're just bullshitting. Nobody needs burnt sienna. Nobody needs that copper or mauve.
I always try to, my dad, who we cheered, thank you for that.
Big ups.
He compared everything. He was in advertising. He compared everything to getting laid. Like that was how he taught someone how to sell. Because he said, if you can get laid, like you're the ultimate salesperson. And he was not an attractive dude, and he always had a lady. So he was like a really good salesman. And so he would be like,
your mother must have been thrilled with this arrangement.
They didn't really. My dad and mom didn't last so long. I think they were like, I was like 5 when they broke. I never remember my parents together. My dad was always single, always had a bunch of girlfriends, always.
From his rap,
you know what? He
hoarded words.
He did. Because he was bald. He was bald, except he had a ponytail.
Oh,
so
no.
His hair started back here.
Did he own a bird and walking around the neighborhood on his shoulder?
He did have a bird. He absolutely did have a bird. He had a bird.
There's always that guy.
He wanted a bird so bad for Christmas one year, so I got him a bird and I put it in a box and put some holes in it. And he was like, oh, what is this? And he started shaking the box. And the bird started hitting the side of the box. And I was like, you said you wanted a bird. So we had to go back and get a new bird. the next day, but he had a bird for a while. Yeah, he was a.
Was
he
that
a
bird a
character.
little Stunads after being shook?
Oh, that bird died. He shook him. I mean, that bird didn't even make it. That bird didn't even make it.
Your father's a bald man with a
Yeah.
ponytail, had a
Yeah.
great rap for the ladies.
Yeah, so-
always up to his eyeballs in pussy, and he's a bird killer.
Yeah, yeah. My dad
That's
was a
just that's
character,
what
man.
they said at his funeral.
Yeah. Oh, his funeral. Man, 1,000 people showed up for the funeral.
Good
anyway,
with the ladies, bird killer.
He was. We didn't know how many girlfriends he had, and they all showed up at the funeral, like,
Wow.
pissed off.
And so did Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter did not make that, and we're back to it. This is important. I want to stick
I'm
with this. 'Cause
listening.
The reason, we talk about the sales side, for a hoarder, especially for the male side, they want to make sure they have everything, always. So, like, if at one point, if some girl comes up to you and is like, I will have sex with you right now if you can find me a number 7 Phillips head screwdriver in black. And that guy, I got it, runs, gets it, here it is. They want to have everything that you could possibly ever need in case one time somebody needs it. They have value in that. They feel righteous because they have it. And that's why a lot of the guy hoarders hold on to things. I'm not saying to get laid. I'm just using an example. They want to make sure they have everything in case someone ever needs it, because that's where they get their self-worth. If someone needs it, they have it. I bet your uncle had all these books because someday someone was going to ask, do you have burnt sienna plaid? Yes, I got it. It's in the basement. Here it is.
Oh, we threw it out to play pool.
Yeah.
No!
Jay threw it all out yesterday.
Yes,
Sorry,
no.
Uncle Bob.
And he shook the cage
Yeah.
with the monkey in it and killed it. Do you, in animal hoarding, how do these people pick? I know it's a quick answer, but let's delve a little deeper. How do they pick what animals they're hoarding?
It's pretty much always cats.
But we've seen chickens.
Yeah.
We've seen goats.
Yeah.
We've seen rats.
Yeah, the rat one was cool.
We
We got to chase rats.
That was out here, right?
That was in the desert. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome. God,
How is that
fun.
awesome?
We were like chasing rats for 3 days.
And it's
like,
fun to you.
It's very fun. Like the first day.
And you don't do speed.
No.
It seems like a great job for a
No.
tweaker. We're gonna go out in the desert, chase rats, man.
I had a 2-week really good trip to Maui where I just did acid every day. And then I haven't done drugs since then. Actually, it was acid. It wasn't acid. It was ecstasy. Which was fun. And going through the Hana, you ever gone that road through Hana?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just took X until we ran out. It was really fun.
I did that drive for about, 18 miles, and then
Yeah.
I just thought, what the fuck am I doing? I could be back at the resort laying by a pool. And I'm just
I hiked it, man. I walked it.
You're a crazy person.
Yeah, well.
We've established that.
Yeah.
So it's almost always cats.
Always cat, because cats are easy love. Cats don't require a lot of effort. Cats, like, everyone thinks like cats are like domestic and they might be in your home, but a cat will fucking kill you in a second. Like,
You can't have a cat if you have a baby. That's news to me.
yeah, the litter will fuck up your baby.
Also,
Yeah.
they'll climb on the baby's face because it smells like milk, and they'll lay on the baby's face and suffocate it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Cats
didn't know
commit
that.
infanticide.
So baby could.
The baby always has a whiff of milk around his mouth, regardless
Yeah.
how you bathe it,
So the cat will come in and lick it.
and wind up laying on the warmest part of the baby, which is the head, and suffocate your baby.
Well, like-
you didn't know this?
No, well,
This is great.
our animal experts were telling us that a cat, like when a cat comes by and sits on you and is like purring when you're sleeping, and you think, "Oh, my cat loves me." That cat is waiting for your last breath. It's waiting for you to die so it can eat you.
What?
Literally. The cat is just waiting. They're survivors, man. Like, they want you to die so they can start eating.
They must be survivors because there's always like 40 of them in a horde.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, they'll just go forever.
We've seen rats.
Rats.
We've seen bunnies.
The bunny one. I cleaned up the bunny one. I wasn't on the show, but it went so poorly that I had to go back and do the aftercare.
That guy was such an asshole.
He was an
He was a
asshole.
child. A big, fat child.
He was. I would not have handled it the way they did if it had been me.
He's in the other room.
would've made
Colin.
him
Did you see
stand
the
in the
bunny
corner.
one? And he's just playing like video slots in the other room on his computer. His computer room is spotless.
Yeah, the rest of the house covered in rat shit.
They wanted to, and he kept
Yeah.
saying bunnies, which made me irate. Say fucking rabbits. You're a grown up.
He
They
was-
took my bunnies.
He was interesting, man. I never figured him out. But this was the worst part. They sent me to do, sometimes they'll send me to do aftercare when it's like a really difficult person. And so aftercare, there's no cameras. It's just you and like another dude, and you got to clean up the mess that didn't get finished. And his show aired on a Monday night. I landed at his house at like 6 a.m. on Tuesday. So I walked up to the house 9 hours after him seeing himself an asshole on national TV. And I didn't know if this guy, he was a pretty big guy. I don't know if he's going to like punch me. I didn't know what was going to go on. And so I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And he opens the door and he's like, you one of those guys from A&E? I was like, no, those guys are assholes, man. I hate those fucking guys. I'm here to help you. And I just totally sold out the network. And you're not. I love you, A&E. Thank you for my job. But there was like no way that I could actually survive with this guy. Just 3 days to clean up his house. And we thought he would chill out.
Where did you tell him you were from?
I just told him that the network.
I'm from the New York Mets. You've been drafted.
I told him, I was like, hey, man.
Get a glove, you lucky prick, you.
I was just like, those guys are assholes. I'm just here to take their money too, man. Let's see what we can do, man. Let's see if we can clean up your house. Like, I'm here for you. And the whole time, 3 days, I was like, yep, they're all assholes.
So you're a salesman like Ed Paxton.
Absolutely. Yeah, my job is a sales job.
And then you had sex with that man.
That guy?
Well, he said your dad used to close the deal and equated to sex.
Hey, man.
Why don't people ever hoard, like, all right, we saw rats, we saw bunnies, like, why not hoard? Like, you never see them hoarding like animals, like ponies. Like hoard something.
We had a horse hoarder one time.
Where that should be on television.
It didn't make it. It was too sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
sad for you means other level sad.
Do you mean like just kill this?
Because you said your dream is to find like dead babies under floorboards. Like if you got to John Wayne Gacy's house, you would have done a happy dance.
I don't want to.
Aren't John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer just super evolved hoarders?
Yeah,
they hoarded human beings.
Sure, you could say that. Well, that'd be a sweeps show, wouldn't it? Just a ton of fucking kids in there. We'd get $3 million, I guarantee you.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
The horse hoarding was too sad.
I found it was too sad. It was. I walked in. I went to just see it to see if we could even film it. And I walked in, and I had Crocs on, which was a mistake. Should have had muck boots on.
You brought Crocs to a hoard.
I had my work Crocs, like they were dirty Crocs, right? Thinking that'd be fun.
Hold on. Listeners, your work Crocs. Because all our listeners are either Gay Guys on Fire Island or Mario Batali. Guys that know what work Crocs are. What the fuck? Don't you fucking dizzy prick, you? All right, so you bring your work Crocs to a horse hoard.
First step in the house.
What a strange sentence.
The Croc sticks. Like it sticks down into the muck. And then my foot comes out. Then I'm like, oh shit. So I hightail it back, get some boots on, come back in, and it's literally probably 6 inches of just muck. And this lady had horses in her house. Horses and dogs.
That's funny for The Tonight Show.
Yeah,
If I'm in the audience of The Tonight Show and you say that sentence, I laugh and everyone in the audience turns around to see who's laughing at that. This lady had horses in her house.
Horses walking around. And dogs, must have been 30 or 40 dogs, had never been outside before. So they were nuts.
Well, who wants to go outside when you can look at horses in the living room?
And as I made it around the couch, there was a dead horse, lying on the ground. And I was like, there's a horse right there.
Did you beat it?
And it was already dead.
Oh, I thought you might want to beat a dead horse.
No.
Literally, just to do that once in your life and go, bucket list, check.
Should have checked it off.
So
she said it was her favorite horse.
So she did. How eroded was it?
It was. I mean, it was just. It was like just bones, and there was a little bit of skin on half of it. And it was.
What does a dead horse smell like compared to everything else?
Again, urine will always take over. Urine takes over everything. Even when a person dies, they shit themselves and they pee right away. And so when you smell a dead body, if it's within a week, all you smell is the pee.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. It was a row house in Baltimore where you found the dead body.
That was
a good story. Go back and listen to the podcast and listen to that because we got more shit to get to. So the lady was an animal hoarder. It was too sad because all the horses are just walking around in circles.
And we were like, we can't make this at all.
But why not turn it into pony rides for everybody in the neighborhood and make this really what I want to ask you. Why can't hoarders make the hoard work for them? Say you hoard ponies, like that lady. Pony rides. You're the house with pony rides. And there's dogs. Right?
And kids love dogs.
And the dogs must look at the horses like, what kind of fucking dogs are these? With their giant wooden feet.
Yeah. I think, the person you don't want me to talk about is who actually did do that.
Yes. And let's say you hoard board games, which many hoarding people do.
Yes, they do.
Just say you have a non-mechanical arcade and have everyone in the neighborhood over to play your board game and charge them like a nominal fee.
The sad thing is, honestly, like no joking, that is their intention. They actually keep all those games because someday I'm going to have a game night and everybody's going to come over and everyone's going to love me and I'm going to feel great and the world's going to be perfect. that's what goes on in their head. They actually believe they're going to do it, but then they have 4,000 copies of the Smurfs Monopoly, and then no one can come over.
Nobody ever hoards like cool shit. Like nobody ever hoards like albino tigers, because you'd only need like 4 of them to have that considered like a hoard. Like, hey, you want to come in? Yeah, I got all of Liberace's feathered boas.
Have you seen the Shah, the Persian